The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin flying round the field. Starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Bismarck, you wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
He's in my box. Y'all just caught me talking to my daughter. My bad, y'all. What up, everybody? Peace. We back.
It's good.
2023, mother suckers. Newest episode of the Start 5. As always, we need y'all to, I was going to say hit the QR code, but guess what? The QR code ain't there right now, but bam, it's right there. Hit that QR code. I guess I dropped it. Thank you. I'm again talking to my daughter through the camera. I should know better show etiquette, but yeah, I had to get another one of these. You know, hit that QR code, bong over TJ's head. Wear the dog when you go see him. What up, kid? And of course, right when I go to him, he freezes like our crip walking brother below him.
What's good, y'all? Are you back, TJ? Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know it was on me. Thank you. What's up, fellas? Happy New Year. Good to see you, brothers. JJ, glad to see you healthy and made it through your ordeal over the holiday weekend. Good to see you back, brother. Big O, salute to you, sir. Good seeing you back. Of course, the mayor. I'm enjoying my time. New Year's getting started off on the right way, so I'm good.
Yeah, word, JGZ.
What's good, y'all? Happy 2023. Happy to be here with y'all again on a Sunday. Wish I could be outside smoking a little something or whatever, as TJ alluded to, you know, nursing a little leg injury, but on good money. Got some good football on today. Always get to chop it up with y'all on a Sunday.
Smoking that smoke with the big O. Gang banging. Big O is gang banging. What up?
Nah, I'm chilling. Put that out there.
This shit ain't never gonna die. It ain't never gonna die, bro.
Yeah, but man, listen, thank you, internets, for whoever the fuck brought that out, because that will never go anywhere. I don't care. Yo, how do you come out with a record like that? Like already 20 years past this prime, talking about
20.
Like we need to save the inner cities. Like we need to save these streets. These kids is, you know, smoking them tweeds and.
Because Smokey has some nephews, some grandnephews in Detroit that's trying to come up off his name, and they talked him into that shit over Thanksgiving. he bought into it, and that's what
right. Like, yo, come on, Unc. Let me produce this track for you. Let me produce this, yo. I'm trying to be the next.
But why they let him write his own lyrics though?
You know, he can be 80, but you know, ain't nobody telling Smoke what to do.
Right.
He needed a ghostwriter. For that.
They was like, we got this little JVC handycam. We got the part.
JVC.
Not even. That was what, like, that video is from what, like 2004, right? Or 7 or something or whatever, 8. That might have been the the little flip camera era. Remember the little pocket joint?
The Sony flip cam.
Yeah. Or the JVC. I had one that shot 1080p and I lost that bitch. Those are good cameras. Those are them little pocket cameras was nice for the time. But so many balls was paused. So many balls would drop back then, and just I should have been popping on YouTube the way I wanted to, but I had nobody to wanted to do these sketches and skits with, because like people were doing them, but they wasn't doing them that crazy. And fortunate for even like my brain, the ideas and shit that I wrote, nobody has even done them. Nobody's even done them. Like I'll tell you one of them after the show, which I don't know how valid it would be, but it would still be hilarious. But I digress on that, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, before we get into like what we're here for this week, which again, we put ourselves behind the 8 ball because of how late in the week now that we record, but also too, it was the new year. We told y'all we wasn't coming back till the next week, and unfortunately, something happened that could have been fatal. But we are glad to hear that Damar Hamlin is regaining everything very slowly. I believe they still have him under critical condition and all of that. But we're gonna get into that today, and that's gonna be the sole focus, along with like everything surrounding it, from like other athletes that we've seen over time in sports who unfortunately had passed away on the field, or had went through like some life-changing, life-altering injuries and things like that. And also we're going to get into the controversy, which we all know there was really one main controversial person in all of this, and that's the one Water Pistol Pete. Whether we choose to use his full name or not today is subject. It's up to y'all, but for sure, Water Pistol Pete came out to play earlier in the week, and he got everything he deserved, with the exception of being fired. But before we get there, man, again, first show of the new year. How has everything started off, Jamal? Like you briefly said it. So how's everything started off with you?
Besides the leg, all good, man. On a positive note, this shit happened the day after Christmas. My ass shouldn't have been out on the fucking frozen golf course anyway, but we was down at my mom's house and the whole family's there, and me and my brother just wanted to get the fuck out the house. So
I know that feeling. Yep.
We found the one golf course that was open. It was 16 degrees. They should have had so we went out there and we had a good time. But other than that, man, I can't complain. As I'm rehabbing, quite a few people sent me some of the best weed I've had in my life. So
nice.
I gotta be careful, like we was talking earlier, trying not to eat myself into oblivion.
Word.
Oh shit! Good fucking catch.
I'm
sorry. I got one.
I thought his TV fell off the wall or something.
Right?
No. It's I'm here. One eye on the New England Buffalo game, and one eye on the show. Yo, Jamal, I ain't gonna lie, man. You my boy. We damn near like brothers, man. I when you initially told me I'd try to fight for you and shit, I was like, yo, nah, fuck that. The golf course is wrong. They held liable. But then as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, 16 degrees? Like, what the fuck was he doing out there?
Bro, that's how bad we need to get out the house. That's how bad we need to get to the house. But no, man, that was all on me, fam. I got to eat that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean,
it's a tough one. Yeah,
we do need brothers on the golf course, but just not in those type situations. But lesson learned, you're at least still able to halfway walk. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we hoping for the speedy recovery. Oh, how's your year kicked off?
Oh yeah, my year's been good. My year so far so good, man. I'm still on this health this health reformation, whatever you want to call it. 1 week I'm good, 2 weeks I'm fucking up, but I bought my trying to do some meal prepping this week. We'll see how that goes, man. So fingers crossed. I'm feeling good about it.
Good.
We can see where this goes. But other than that, man, I'm chilling.
TJ, you froze, looking like you sleep already.
No, I'm good. I'm here. If you can hear me.
Yeah, we heard you. It's just the way the way your camera froze. You was looking crazy, like you was fucking zooted out.
What? I'm here. Can you hear me? Is it good?
Yeah. No, now, I'm just saying.
Okay.
They saw when you froze, you just had this like half. I can't, like, y'all can barely see my eyes, so I can't even do it.
No, well, my year's kicked off good. I mean, I got to see most of my family, and my daughter came home, and I got to see her, so that was really good. Year's getting off to a great start. Work is still good. No complaints there. I'm doing a lot of shit this year, so everything is, I got started early, so everything's like going as according to plan as I needed to right now. So it's gonna be a busy year. I'm excited for the future, and this year's definitely gonna be better than last year. And last year was a very good year, so I'm looking forward to that.
I feel you. For me, it was a really interesting start. There's one story that is I got to share off camera. Hella interesting start to 2023. Nothing crazy, but yeah. I mean, in the coming months, hopefully I'm gonna have a big announcement for y'all by way of HHDG Media. A plan that was developed in my brain in 2014 is now set to come to life finally. And it's going to be something, it should be something major, especially with this year is the 50th anniversary of our culture of hip hop. And so, there's a little breadcrumb for y'all, whoever plays this back later, because nobody's watching this right now, but we don't give a fuck. People are going to come eventually. We lost TJ. But man, I got some shit that's going to come in the near future. And so the way January of 2023 started, so far it's on the upside. Already better than 2022, which sucked for me, in my opinion. But 2023 tried to kick open the door as fucked up as 2022 ended with the unfortunate, what looked like routine basic tackle. Like it didn't look like anything out of the ordinary when Damar Hamlin made a tackle on, I believe it was T. Higgins. And we seen him make the tackle. He was kind of like took the shoulder and the helmet a little bit to the chest. They went down. He jumped back up like nothing happened, and then out of nowhere, he fell out. And the first thing that this reminded me of, y'all, and y'all are older than me, so we all remember this incident. And I'm gonna say it, then somebody can go. But this incident immediately reminded me of Hank Gathers.
Straight up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, straight up. That was jarring to see live. Watching that game. Game started off wild too, because it started off really intense game. It felt like a playoff game, those first two drives. And they were hitting and whatever, but you saw that tackle. And then when he just collapsed after that, I was like, oh, it didn't take long to realize that something serious had happened. And it was jarring. And then after those first couple minutes went by, I turned. I was like, no. I said, this boy, something's not right. Something's not right. And that we were watching landmark television, and this is going to be talked about for years. What happened, and man, the best thing only thing I can say about it was jarring. It was jarring, and you felt that in your chest and your soul when that boy collapsed that way.
Yeah, because like I unfortunately, well, I guess maybe fortunate for my eyes in a way, but I was actually out doing laundry, and O was the first one to send something to the group chat like, "Yo, like that shit was crazy, like that hit was crazy, whatever." And then you sent the message along saying like, "Yo, I hope this kid Hamlin is all right." And then I was like, "Hold on, what happened?" And then I think O said something else, and it was just like, "Yo, something was up." And then all the news started to roll in. All the news started to roll in, and then there was the updates about they paused the game. Were they going to restart the game? Were they not going to restart the game? All this, that, and the third was going down. And then, they made the wise decision to just cancel to postpone the game for now. Eventually, within the week, they canceled it all, which was in some respects okay. But for the night, they was just given a postponement. And like I said, I wouldn't have known anything if you didn't mention it first. I remember.
Yeah, there was no way they could have carried on with that game. You know, I mean, it was, you know, thinking back to Hank Gathers and Reggie Lewis. Like, how the hell were they able to carry on that game? You know, those games afterwards. You know, I mean, I get it that football is a more violent, you know, sport. But damn, yo, I mean, to see your teammates go down like that, one of your teammates go down like that, and then the second thing that rolls in your mind after you know you're praying that he's okay. The second thing that goes in your mind is like, damn, like yo, that could have been me.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that aspect of it, there was no way they can carry on with it. You know, with those two 2 points, I think they weren't sure the extent of it until the medical staff came out there and started administering CPR. That's when they were like, "Oh shit! Like this is real."
Yeah,
you know?
the CPR turn was this definitely the CPR turn was like it brought some kind of levity to it that it was like, hold up, like TJ, like hold up, this shit is different.
Yeah, and I believe like that whole situation actually it's going to change live television the way sports is broadcast because they're now going to have a contingency plan for stuff like that, where they can either go to the pregame show folks or cut away for that because you could tell they were scrambling. They didn't know what to do. They had none. The announcers was running out of words to say. They just kept cutting the commercial as much as they could, and
right.
You know, within 2 minutes after him hitting the ground, that shit stopped being about football. So, but just they probably should have stayed away from the field following that. Once the medical staff ran out there and they started using CPR, they should have just stayed. They should have stayed in the studio. And I'm not casting blame on them. That's part what they did that night was probably the best game time decision I've ever seen the NFL do. You know, and no one's prepared for that. But you're going to see a change now with games. If anything like that should happen again, it's going to go immediately to the studio desk.
Yeah, which I mean, I totally agree with you in a way, and I view it in a couple different ways with the way that they handled it. Like I don't see it as a bad thing at all.
No, not at all.
Because of how unprecedented this felt. Like
right.
It truly felt unprecedented because in our time, we've never seen anything like this. But and in looking up, which we're going to discuss some of these names in a little bit, but the one I can bring up right now, Chuck Hughes, was a guy who played for my Philadelphia Eagles that I did not know about. Suffered a heart attack on the field, a fatal heart attack. So this guy was the first person to die on the field. In this was 19. He played. It was 1970-71 season. He died October 24th of 71. So I never knew anything about that. And it made this situation where Hamlin truly feel like this shit has never happened before. This shit has never ever happened before. And it's it was hella interesting. But we got the brother JP here with us. What up, JP? Yeah.
What up? What up? How you all doing?
What's up, JP?
Not much. Happy New Year, brothers, man. Happy New Year to you. Sorry.
Yeah, he definitely said New Year's, all of them.
I said New Year.
But yeah, man, we're up to the whole Hamlin situation, and we were just talking about how we were talking about it on this angle of how unprecedented this felt for us, because as I just described, the only and the lone unfortunate death on field during a game was Chuck Hughes of the Philadelphia Eagles in 1971, and how
Detroit,
no, I just read it. Oh, he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh no, he was playing for the Lions. Yeah, thank you. So I got it wrong. My bad. He was playing for the Lions, but he was drafted by the Eagles. But yeah, no, we was talking about how, you know, we technically weren't alive or around for that, but how unprecedented this felt for us in our lifetime, and how the NFL and the TV network kind of they didn't know what to do as far as showing it on camera or not. But in a way, like I was trying to describe how this really wasn't a bad thing. But as Jamal described, this was more of a learning lesson for the next time something like this happens. Your thoughts on it?
Man, first off, number one, man, I'm just glad that you know, brother's okay, man. That's the main thing. I don't want to see nothing like that again in my life, man. Like, you know, like it really even questioned me whether I want to watch football this week or not. I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, because that's how it was, you know, and man, you know, and I and you know, we you know how we are with the NFL and everything like that, but the NFL actually did a good job, man, with everything, you know. And if you look at it, if they had the same things in place 30 years ago with Reggie Lewis and even Hank Gathers, they would still be here with us. Right. So, you know, I think you know, the NFL finally got something right with this one, man. I'm just glad the young man is here, and you know, I wish him a speedy recovery. Well, you see how he's recovering, but you know, even more when you get back to being normal again. Forget about the football, but for him to be just a normal human being, that's the main thing, man. You know, and I just thank God, man, that you know he just recovered, man. God's good, man. You know,
I'm sorry. I was definitely impressed with the response time. You know,
the response was good. Yeah, like I said,
as far as how quick they were on the field. You know,
game time decisions I've ever seen the NFL make.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and as far as the recovery time as just spoken, like I'm very impressed with that also, and I'm glad that we are getting great news about this kid coming back to health, because the first thing we heard was he wrote a letter asking did they win.
Yep.
You know, which and you know what, if people feel a way about that, feel however you choose to feel about that, because everybody who played a sport, it's still number one in some sort of a way. Yo, did we win? Did we lose? What did these people do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, on some don't worry about me. What happened? And I appreciated that personally, because like taking my own injury for instance, I've described on here for years how I broke my tibia plateau. If I had on shorts, I would show you the scar. The only thing I was concerned with, it wasn't life-threatening like this, brothers. But being an athlete at the time, I was concerned with, I can't wait to walk again. When will I be able to play football again? Because I wasn't done. You know, and I don't want this kid to have that kind of thought in his head just yet, because of how crazy this was, how fickle the heart can physically be. And TJ, we don't want to see this get triggered again. Like, the kid is 24 years old. He's got way too much time left. But if he does feel like, I want to be back there, I understand because of how young he is.
I was just about to say, I think if he's fully recovered, he's going to want to play again. Absolutely. Just as weird as that happened on the field, like, I mean, it wasn't like it was a bruising hit or like or Jamar Chase truck sticked him or anything like that. It was just an awkward angled type hit and tackle. And he immediately got up and then he just like wrestled. It's crazy. This man has his whole life ahead of him. Shout out to the Bills fans and Bills Mafia. They did a GoFundMe for this guy, and it's up to like $4 million, I think, or close to it.
7.5.
And pause that because that was not Bills Mafia. That GoFundMe was actually his. That GoFundMe was actually his GoFundMe for. He was just trying to raise $2,500 to give back to his community for Christmas for the kids, to buy toys for the kids.
Oh, okay.
And once that word got out, that shit just it was up to, I think it was up to 3 million that night. It shot up. Like I even heard things like, yo, Chris Jericho gave like 10 grand to his thing and shit like that. Like his thing really went up. And yes, Bills Mafia, the Bengals, Who Dey Nation, whatever, like they all stood up for this kid.
Yeah, they all showed up.
Yeah, they did.
And that's tremendous. And that was very commendable. But
Joe, I just want to add, TJ too, like I get it that he's young, and the fact that he's young and athletic, that he has that working for him. About 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, this world-class soccer player collapsed on the field and at the Euros the same way. Christian Eriksen. It wasn't a tackle, but soccer they do jostle for the ball or whatever the case is.
Right.
And he collapsed just like that. Paramedics were out there in no time, or whatever the case is. Long story short, he's now playing for one of the top teams in the world. You know what I'm saying? So he did come back from it. He does have a pacemaker in, but which is probably gonna happen with Hamlin. I'm not in the medical field like that, but this is what I'm speculating.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to get another contract, at least on the field.
Oh well, yeah. Well, when it comes to football, his career is done.
Nobody's gonna want to. Nobody's gonna want.
Correct.
Want that on their plate. Yeah, no. And soccer is completely different in terms of physicality than football.
But
so
the difference, though, is the cardio endurance within Euro football versus American football. Like the cardio difference is the pounding that, and I don't want to say pounding, but what it takes on the heart to run.
I was just saying, like from the collision. The collision part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a great toll on the body every time. Yeah.
Correct. You're going 100 miles an hour,
feeling that
slamming into each other. It's totally different.
Yeah, to come into a dead stop. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So, yeah.
Oh, this is dope. Oh, that it was a tweet from Ian Rappaport saying Bills Damar Hamlin's 4-year, $3.64 million contract is contains
guaranteed
split to pay him at a lower rate if he lands on injured reserve this week. He was placed on IR. However, sources say Buffalo has worked out an agreement with the NFL and Players Association to pay him in full. Absolutely,
he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. She's good money.
Good. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I think I sent out something to you guys on IG during the week. About this dude's money and
right.
Not so much Hamlin's money, but just how the NFL pays people out on a whole. As far as what are these guys vested or are they not vested? Okay, he's only been in the league 3 years. We don't have to pay him out. He's pretty much on his own. And I think that was one of the things that a lot of people had questions on. Is he going to be okay after life after football?
Right. And that's one of the things where I think I seen a TikTok video of some show that I forgot dude used to be on ESPN. It looked like a Cleveland based show. But it was a guy who used to be on ESPN with Dana I forgot her name, Dana something. When first take started.
Jacobson?
Yeah, Dana Jacobson. I like her a lot. She was really good at her job over there. And the other dude that was with her. But there was a black dude who was just he was going off on like, yeah, everybody's praising the NFL for doing a great job, this, that, and the third. But he took the stance of like they haven't really done a great job because what happens with all of these brothers and how, like, paraphrasing, but takes the case of like thank you, yeah, Dana Jacobson, thank you. But takes the NFL takes the standpoint of like how regular employees do and regular employers do. They ask you for a 2-week notice, but they can fire you at any date, at any point. You know, NFL, it's like, we don't like you this year, we don't like you this day. You could get cut at any time, and you can lose your whole contract, this, that, and the third. What about these guaranteed deals? You know, like all these other sports leagues get paid guaranteed, except the NFL, with I believe the exception of rookie deals, which I think is if you are a first-round pick or pick within the first top something or other, you know, whether it's like top 10, top 20 or something, like those top of the tops, I believe, have like fully guaranteed rookie deals. I would have to look more into that to see how real that was, or if my memory serves me correctly. But the dude made valid points about the aftercare. How the veterans have been taken care of, and how, you know, they made that $750 million+ settlement for veteran care and stuff, but yet payouts have just started going out. Like nobody's really been getting taken care of, and like there was like a whole behind the scenes more with the NFL to where they need to take this moment and learn and teach themselves to do more for the player. The people who put them on this stage, TJ.
Yeah, no, I saw that video you was talking about, and you just basically called the NFL out to the mat. Like, yo, listen, you put these programs and this money in place, and you're just sitting on it. Why are you not? You put this money there to spend out on these people, and you're not spending the money. So what is the money doing? Are you collecting interest off this money? What's happening? Like, why are you not paying it out? Why are there such restrictions and hurdles to get this money to these players? He was saying it was ridiculous. And in terms of the Hamlins, because his contract wasn't guaranteed, the owner could cut him basically at any time and not pay him the rest of his money. He's out on his own with his injury type deal. He was saying that as well. So, I mean, we all know what the NFL is and what it means and what the owners think of these teams.
Apologies, everyone. Fucking, of course, first show of the year, and all the fucking bugs decide to want to kick in and kick this show's ass. But
it was me at first. I was like, damn, what the hell is going on now?
Yeah, man. But we had the little freeze up session, man, while TJ was making valid points out there.
But go
ahead.
Now, one of the things that really shed a light on this whole situation is players' health care. These players need to be compensated, paid for life even after football. There's no look. These men give their bodies on the line. Let's be honest. Put their lives on the line every week to entertain. It's time to get these former players, retired players, whoever. It's time to get them full beneficial health care where they can be taken care of the rest of their lives. And don't tell me the NFL ain't got the money, because they're making billions and billions of dollars every damn year. So I think it shed the light that the players need to be taken care of and compensated for a dangerous game that we all love to watch. You know, we sit. I'm talking about you all, but we sit here, even myself. We sit here every week, cheer, not knowing these guys. I mean, even the life expectancy of an NFL player is 59 years old. So you know they need to be compensated for what they do. And healthcare, they need full coverage healthcare the rest of their life. Period.
At minimum, like
America loves gladiator sports. So this is what it is. And
it is. But if you're playing the game to make them money, we understand this. The owners
right. The money they generated for these owners and these teams should be at least put something back to these players.
Right. Exactly. Even if even if it's in the form of these guys, you know, all these billionaire owners, the NFL is their hobby. Their money is made in other industries. Collectively, they could start a hedge fund or something that continuously grows where they can cover the healthcare expenses for these players and still earn off it. Still earn off it like the way union does pension funds and shit. You know what I mean? They can do that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think end of the day, you know, the owners are only going to do something that's going to be beneficial to them, you know. And like you said, Jamal, I mean, if they're able to make money off of it, you know, then hey, you know, I mean, because they'll argue with you. Hey, listen, I didn't tell them to play football. You know, they'll find a way. They'll find a way. You know what I'm saying? And this is and like you said today, this is America's sport. Anytime you turn on sports radio, 9 times out of 10 they're talking about football. You know, whether it's baseball season, basketball season, basketball is an afterthought on ESPN radio. Baseball is an afterthought on ESPN radio. It's all about football.
Football's year round now. Football's year round now, bro. Mm-hmm. Football is year round.
But back to the whole healthcare situation. I mean, we're in this country. We're in America now. Fortunately for me, I have a job that does have a decent policy. You know what I'm saying? Where I know when I'm retired, I'm going to still have, you know, because it's thank you for your service as a New York City employee. You know, like that's at minimum. At minimum, they're gonna make sure that you know, we're taken care of as far as healthcare. But we're dealing with a bunch of capitalists. And yeah, say what we want about capitalism, yada, yada, yada. I bring it up because we've been living in this capitalist society where even in the regular workforce, they've cut pensions. And now you have to save everything on your own by way of 401k. Healthcare, these companies barely want to pay into a healthcare plan to make sure that they want to be able to pay a little, like there's some people give up a little bit of something while you still got to come out of pocket for more, you know? And then still there are healthcare plans out there. I mean, obviously everybody called it Obamacare. Like we all have something, technically. We all have something. It's just that little bit of something might not cover everything that these people may need. Which that's where, just like y'all said, if they put a fund aside, more than the $750 million settlement for the retired players who are still alive, if they put a fund aside for all players as soon as they retire, you know, you should have something. Now, here's where I gotta say, I not that I agree with it, but I understand is the tenure limits. Like if
I was gonna get to that.
I understand it. Yeah, it does take a little bit to be vested. Cause like even on my job, like I'm once you hit top pay at the 5-year mark or 6-year mark, you're in, but you're vested at 10 to where if you were to leave or something would have happened where you left at year 11, now you have to wait 9 years, but you still got whatever you accrued in your pension, but you have to wait until the 20-year mark, and then you still get something. You know what I'm saying? And football is different. We all know The average lifespan is 3 to 6 years. And that's, 3 to 5 now probably for running backs, as the running backs had the shortest span. But the average lifespan overall for most players is anywhere between 3 to 6. And everybody plays for the second contract.
Yeah.
It's never about the first. It's always about the second contract.
That's where the money's at, the second one.
Right. But if you can get to second contract, your ass should be vested. Plain and simple. Like it should be that. And to be honest with you, again, stop writing these contracts where you're telling the world, okay, Pat Mahomes, 10 years, $500 million, but 300 is something is guaranteed. No, just make it $350 million guaranteed contract. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of all the extra shit. Because if you
the incentive laden, whatever.
Yeah, because if you get rid of the incentives, look at that. Like I said, Pat Mahomes contract. That's $200+ million aside that could be budgeted towards something else. And that's just off one person. You don't have to now hold on to that with the hope of, I hope this motherfucker don't make all of this shit so we could keep some. No, get to guaranteeing these contracts. And then two-pronged thing is these owners and stuff will probably get a little bit tighter with their purses, but we won't have these like we won't be seeing a lot of these astronomical fucking, contracts where we look at some of these dollar amounts and it's just like for you, like you're getting all this, like, and I'll stop here, but people talk shit about Kirk Cousins getting his money. He's been playing it smart his whole fucking career.
Sure.
He's been playing it smart. Give me whatever the freaking not veteran minimum, but whatever what do they call it? I forgot what they call it. But it's a certain pay scale where he gets paid the average of the top 5 salaries in the league.
Veteran exception, is that what it is?
Something like that. I apologize for I apologize for forgetting it, you know what I'm saying? But like he's played it smart, and almost all of his contracts over the past few years have been $30-something million, $40-something million, $20-something, all guaranteed. Because he played it smart. You ain't got to play for the extras, this, that, and the third. But there's so many little ways that we can sit here and pontificate on and go in on how they can do. It's right there in their faces. I just essentially think they don't want to, because capitalism. They want to keep as much money for themselves over having to give it. So.
What's crazy is they keep framing this thing as these folks are capitalists, and it's just not true. These fuckers are cannibal capitalists, and what they've been doing is taking excessive advantage of people. The greed is just out of control. It's unchecked capitalism, and it's about to get worse with this new Congress. I'm not going to take the show in that different way, but you're going to see more stuff like that in the near future, because they coming for Social Security and Medicaid, and that was the deal. That was the deal they struck to get this dude to become Speaker of the House. So,
and they've been trying to get rid of Social Security almost literally since I've started working.
Probably longer than that, bro. That was that conservative plan for 40, 50 years now. That Medicaid and Medicare. So,
and then we get some of them, not all of them, some of them weak ass Democrats, man, should be ashamed of themselves too. But like you said, we ain't getting. Let me say this for political things, since we're on this thing real quick. Sometimes, man, you gotta rumble. Sometimes these motherfucking Republicans, man, they sit up there, man, they rumble. Democrats better take a page and start rumbling stuff down. Oh, they go high, we go low, man. Fuck that shit. You better go high on them motherfuckers all the time. Period.
I don't see them as rumblers, though. I just see them as more agitators and shit starters.
Well, you need to agitate.
And realistically, more gaslighters than anything.
Yeah, because they don't have a plan.
Right.
they blow
We'll
smoke
see.
up everybody's asses over everything first. They blow smoke up their asses and then see what they can pull out of the
What the sad part is the people that voted for him don't realize that they're the people that are going to be shitted on the most.
Yup.
Well, they're
They
gonna
just
realize quick though. It's gonna be
Shout
real
outs
quick.
to-
They're gonna find out.
Shout outs to Queens.
Shout out to Queens.
Queens.
No. I knew y'all was gonna take it there. That's why I'm sitting there quiet. I knew y'all was gonna take it.
Mark,
That's not
how's your new
Queens.
congressman, bro? How's your new congressman?
That's not Queens. That's Nassau County, sir.
Shout out. Oh, y'all not claiming it. Y'all not.
That's Nassau County.
Shout
That's
outs
over the thin blue line. That's
he stood on the other side of the thin blue line.
Yeah, to their defense,
That is-
they're trying to recall him now. So they're actively trying to force him out.
I mean, I know we're not gonna spend too much time on this, right? But I was talking to my pops about this dude yesterday. Yo, when it comes to lying, when it comes to this the aspect of lying, yo, he has Trump beat. I've never seen anyone lie about everything. This dude lied about, yo, he cannot step foot in Brazil.
No, they gonna come for him. They're gonna come for him. The funny shit is when they was taking the roll call, like the 9th time when they were trying to nominate this dude for McCarthy for Speaker of the House, they called this dude's name. They said Santos.
He didn't answer.
Camera on him, and he was looking down, and then he popped up. We don't even know if that's his real name. He lied so much.
Damn sure that's his real name.
He didn't answer, bro.
That's terrible.
This dude is a fraud, yo.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Straight up and down fraud.
That's the GOP for you. That's the gaslighting bullshit, and they way to the top.
You know what?
And they fall for
But you know what? I get to the point now, and I get to the point with these clowns now, these ass clowns now, is who's more insane, them or these stupid motherfuckers who voted for him? That's where I get to the point at.
JP, glad you led it there because it's the people who voted for them.
Exactly. A dumb
Because
motherfucker to put Marjorie Taylor Greene in the office. You gotta be a stupid motherfucker, ignorant.
Because they
serving raw turkey.
They believe because they believe in the gaslighting. They believe in when fucking Bray Wyatt comes out with his LED lantern and he blows the LED out. Like they believe that he blew a flame out. You know, they believe Santa is real. They believe
they believe they're going extinct. They believe they're going extinct. That's
I was going to say this is a Sunday, and this is Heel Sunday for me. So they believe that motherfuckers walk on water. I'm going there. Like, yes, these people are
gaslighting, and they the ones getting their asses light up. They the ones getting exploded on in the fire. Stupid asses.
Well, we're not gonna go there because most of those people also are the same ones that want to put people in those fires still to this day because their ancestors did it and they didn't get the opportunity to do it too. But we're not going there.
Yeah,
we're gonna now throw Water Pistol Pete in the fire. Because you want to talk about, and I'm gonna show the tweets and read them and give a little breakdown of. Now, this is how the tweet series came out. Now, he claimed this middle one was the third one, but this was exactly how it was lined up on his Twitter. And fuck reading the bottom one, because the most controversial one is the one here in the middle. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This is late in the season. A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant.
Okay.
That little line was like a magician trying to play sleight of hand. Like, I gave you all of this bullshit, but you didn't see it. Look what's in this cup. Like this. Oh fuck! And I just poured water on my keyboard. But you know, it's like, yo, look what's in this hand. But nah, you didn't see none of this shit because this, you know, now it's like my statement is even irrelevant. It's irrelevant. But no, and people know how Twitter acts. Twitter moves quick.
Yeah.
Skip wasn't living that down, and it set a firestorm across the internet where it's just fire him. Fox, I don't know how you can keep this man on board. Fire him. Like, I was a person who, I've said it, I didn't mind Skip Bayless over the years. I liked him on First Take. I hate Undisputed. He was a necessary evil until recent weeks where he just became straight out evil. This tweet felt like the icing on the cake, which, sidebar, this man follows nobody back. So I look at it from the standpoint of, y'all give this man so much credence on Twitter and so much rope on Twitter when he don't follow none of you motherfuckers back. If he don't follow a single person back, why do y'all even give him the time of day? But I digress, because I believe people should follow each other mutually. But fuck that. You want to talk about a misplace in timing? It was those tweets. He probably could have got that off if he had really talked about worrying about the game being restarted in the middle of the week or even the next day, because all the sports programs out there led off with that night and that day. It was all about Hamlin. The next day, it was all about Hamlin. But yes, we know the league has to do something about this game, but it's still not that important. Then by the middle of the week, the league finally came out that they're not going to play the game. But it was given enough cushion that show concern to Hamlin more. And they kept giving us the great reports of everything slowly improving, still critical, but slowly improving, still critical, but slowly improving. But Water Pistol Pete decided to put his 1.3 points per game on the line and chuck up a shot from 40 with this tweet and just say, yo, fuck it. If it lands, it lands. You know, like it was like Carlton trying to take the last shot in the game because he felt jealous of Will in the Fresh Prince. Like, he just threw that shot up and was just like, yeah, fuck it, but wish me luck. And the luck ran out on him. But yet, Fox ain't going to fire him. He ain't getting fired.
Nope.
Shannon Sharp skipped one day, and that one day felt like nothing because he came back. He tried to talk, and what did Skip do? White privilege his ass into the conversation, shut down Shannon again. And just and actually the day after the tweet, I don't know if TJ, did you see this shit? But the day after the tweet, he tried to apologize, but it was more like a doubling down over truly apologizing. And that shit certified how big of a piece of shit Skip Bayless is. And if any of y'all continue to watch Undisputed, that's on you. You do you. But use a dumbass for it. I don't give a fuck if Shannon is there or not. We all like Shannon Sharp. But I'm sorry. Sometimes you got to sacrifice some of your own until they move on. I'm sorry. But JP, I know you're a loyal one to Undisputed.
I'm not loyal. I watch it every once in a blue. I watch First Take way more than I watch Undisputed. Way more. But yeah, man, Skip is a mess. He really is. Like you said, he tries to gas. You know, he's like the guy that says stuff. And he's like, oh, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. Like, you know, he tries to play innocent all the time. And,
no,
you know,
this time he stood on it. No, he stood on it, and even after being advised, like, yo, you
take the tweet down.
And he was like, no.
Yeah.
I said what, like, he literally, I said what I said, nigga. Like he could have ended off with saying nigga. Like he said what I said.
But I really do think a couple weeks ago, Shannon was going to put the pause on him when he disrespected him at the Tom Brady thing. I really thought he was going to put the pause on him. But you know, Skip, man, he's you know, he's an antagonist, and this obsession he has with LeBron James. LeBron should file stalking charges against this dude, man. I'm like, man. 2:00, you see his tweets sometime. Well, you see his tweets or Instagram sometime. 2:00 in the morning. LeBron, I'm working out. What are you doing? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's unhealthy.
And Matt Barnes said this week he had to talk people out of putting their hands on him. Some people were going to put hands on Skip. Matt Barnes had to talk around it. But one day somebody's going to put hands on Skip. It's even the same thing with the Russell Westbrook stuff that he does. Like to me, like it's like when they had this little segment on there sometime with Russell Westbrook, and it's like, well, look at this, no Russ, like bad Russ. It's like, man, we try to call the man dumb or something? Like you don't know how to play basketball? It's a damn Hall of Famer. Like, what have you ever done in your life? And it's just crazy. It's
real
crazy.
Quick, like Lou said down below, and then somebody else can go. When Skip said, "Put your glasses back on," sounded like it was missing boy or nigga at the end. How real, Jamal? Yep. Like how real? Like,
right? Yeah. He know what he's doing, and Skip is desperate, man. And his whole thing, what he does is desperation. He knew exactly what he was doing when he dropped that tweet. He's so desperate for attention and traction. He knows nobody likes him. Nobody's ever going to like him. And there's no repercussions for him doing the shit he's doing. And so it's just going to embolden him to go farther and farther until, Fox actually grows a spine and says, okay, this guy's no longer good for sports or journalism. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so.
All our brand.
Yeah. The thing is, Skip is their brand. That's the problem.
Yeah. I was going to say that Fox hired this guy to be just what he is.
Yeah.
To be the bad guy. To be that guy that's going to ruffle feathers, that's going to piss a lot of people off. It's almost like a Jason Whitlock.
That was a point I was going to make.
That was almost like Colin Cowherd back in the day.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the difference between the two. Though Colin Cowherd, or Cowturd, as I used to like to call him, when he was another person, when he was on ESPN, his points was so much more valid and made more sense. Once he went over to Fox, he just became I'm just going to say what I want and you take it or leave it. But he never went as egregious as Skip ever has. Ever.
Yeah, you're right.
Though he made soliloquies here and there and shit, it would make sense. And like, even when we talk shit here, I will pull out the stuff from what would be perceived as the other side. The difference with Cowturd is he stood on it in some cases, but would still give you an opposite opinion from a different side. Skip is just, this is what's in my head. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I'm gonna stand on.
That was like the guy that used to be on ESPN. That was like the guy that used to be on ESPN. Will, I forgot his last name. The white dude now,
Will King.
Yeah, Will King. And he jumped right to Fox after that because he could say whatever the fuck he wanted on Fox that he wasn't allowed to say on ESPN.
Yeah, he tried, but
same shit.
You can say Will Kane, early Jim Rome, like there was a lot of agitators and shit stirrers back then. But Skip is just like, it's just so clueless.
It's not rooted in anything solid, like rational. It's all emotional hate. You know what I mean? Skip shit.
Yes.
And that's the problem with Skip. It's like it's not rooted in any tangible argument or debate. It's just straight emotional hate.
He's jealous.
That's the problem. Jealous. I don't care if you got an opposite opinion and whatever, but at least have a philosophy, a tangible philosophy that makes sense. That's arguable.
Yeah, not more than just I seen it.
Yeah.
Or I seen it.
Or I feel.
More than just I seen it. And I love Tom Brady and he's this, and his Tim Tebow lust was just disgusting too. And he would cape for him like none other. And Tebow didn't do shit in the NFL. The way he caped for Michael Jordan. I mean, that's where you can say, hey, I mean, he did love him, and but he did love him some black man. Because he came for Michael Jordan and instantly went against LeBron, just like all the Jordan fans do, because they don't want to see change. They don't want to accept the change that, hey, these eras are different now.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And that man continuously puts his foot in his mouth, and people are there for it because, like y'all said, he is the brand for Fox. Y'all are bringing eyes to the product because y'all are waiting to see what he says next. And so, no, Fox ain't going to fire a guy like that because he keeps his milkshake brings y'all boys to the yard. This is plain and simple. His milkshake brings y'all boys to the yard. Not me, because I went to YouTube and I went to a stream other than Fox's that showed the joint. So you ain't getting you seen it, but you wasn't getting my spin off.
Let's talk about the other side of it. Let's talk about the other side of this with Uncle Shannon. So he's done with Skip. He's done with Skip. And like we were discussing earlier before we started, he can go anywhere or he don't have to go anywhere because, like you said, he's got his channel set up already. And he can bring him that way and pull in money that way. But Shannon is done. He's done. He's done with Skip. It like disgusts him to sit across the table from him right now.
Yeah, and that's visible. I mean, it's very visible just from the clips.
He disrespected Shannon a couple weeks ago, talking about you're not on Brady's level, you're jealous of Brady, and you're nothing compared to him. Wait a minute. Shannon was like, wait a minute, I got 3 Super Bowl rings. I'm a Hall of Famer too. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Shannon Sharp's one of the best football players to play this game.
I'm about to say top 5 best tight ends ever.
Yeah, top 5 tight end ever. Nobody has Brady's rings. Nobody in NFL history. Does that take away from him not being a great player? One of the all-time greats? I mean, what the hell are you talking about, Skip?
Right, and it's just that, like, when it got disrespectful to that level, you know what I'm saying? Like, it got disrespectful to that level. Like, Skip played 7 is more than 3. Well, fuck you. I'm in the hall before him. So what? Different positions, you know. Then again, he got halfway disrespectful when Shannon talked about his brother being almost pretty much paralyzed on the field.
Yep, that was very disrespectful.
Yep,
very. And they gonna try to cut the man off, man. What a Pistol Pete, man. You need to go somewhere and sit your ass down somewhere. First off, you need to go somewhere and retire. You're taking up space. You're taking up space.
Go learn how to cook from your brother in Chicago. Go do something like that instead.
I was gonna say it's no wonder why him and his brother don't get along, boy.
Yeah.
They don't get along. I don't know the backstory with him and his brother.
Yeah. I was reading an article on him some time ago. Yeah, apparently his brother is some big time celebrity chef too. But they don't get along.
His brother is like world renowned. Like, he was on, rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain. He was on Bourdain's show a couple times. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, you could see them on there, and they look like brothers. But his brother, the chef brother, looks like we would be cool as fuck with him. He looks like ex hippie, makes a mean whatever the fuck you feel like eating. You know what I'm saying? But
okay,
yeah. But yeah, man. But we just had to get Water Pistol Pete out of the way because that was just a part of the nonsense behind this whole situation, which was just, I mean, it was just absolutely absurd of him to come out that way. And, you know, fortunately for anybody else, all the fire paws came on him, and rightfully so, you know, because you don't make dumbass it's again, it was more about the timing for me though. Because like JP and I talked about this before we even recorded the show. Like, if he had to put that tweet out a day or two after the fact, this wouldn't have went down the same way.
Right.
This was literally like minutes or an hour after the incident happened.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was just, you know.
But like you said, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, y'all said that, and it's facts. He knew what the fuck he did. He knew what the fuck he was doing. But I know what we're doing is we're being thankful for the fact that though 2023 started off rough, it's great to know that these updates have come out about Damar, and it came out that I believe yesterday or 2 days ago that they put him on a FaceTime call with the whole team and staff and everybody, and he was able to talk with them, and the first upward signs was him going, his father giving the word that he at least wrote to them and said, who won. His father giving kind of, I would say, the traditional vibe of, he would want y'all to play the game type speech and stuff like that, which again, evident from the letter written.
Yeah.
I learned throughout this how Miles Sanders was going hard for him. Or I've seen it on Twitter, he was like, yo, freaking please stop sharing this video of my brother's injury. And then I learned it was on a TikTok from Philly on the Eagles that those two grew up like best friends. They played together, went to high school together, all that stuff in Pittsburgh. Those two were best friends, brother best friends. And I was like, wow, okay, that it was interesting to learn that that's how well they knew each other. And understandably to why he was going so hard for him. And a lot of people are. I mean, we all kind of had, whether it was thoughts, prayers, well wishes, positive energy. I was up for 2 hours the night of it, just making sure I didn't hear that this kid passed away. And then immediately when I woke up, I was looking, what's the updates? What's the updates? Because, for all of us who played the game in some level or another, it's scary.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep, man. It was I got a couple hours sleep. I was thinking, man, I was thinking the same thing. Yo, man, I hope this young man didn't die, man. And like I said, it questioned everything about football. Man, if this young man actually passed, would I ever watch football again? I really questioned whether I would watch this game again or not. It's rough even right now watching the game right now because you're looking at everybody okay, I hope they get up, you know what I mean, or whatever. And it's okay, I hope it's not serious because of what you saw last Monday night. I don't want to see nothing like that again, man. Ever.
I think the fact that it was just a routine, a simple tackle. If it wasn't like you said to you before, a hit stick tackle, then that's something different. But it was just a routine, everyday tackle. It could have happened in somebody's backyard. That's what scared millions of people.
What Doctor did was on TV. He said basically what happened was it happens to 36 people in the world a year with something like that he had, where the heart was beating fast and the hit happened at the same time or something like that. And that's what caused the cardiac arrest. This doctor that was on CNN said that's basically what happened. It was a freak accident. Like you said, it was a routine tackle, Big O.
Yeah,
but he was saying
the hit was the trigger.
In the helmet at the same time. Right. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, that hit pretty much flipped the switch.
Yeah. Right. Listen. Death in sports is never good, no matter what sport it is. Baseball, basketball, football, car racing. The whole Dale Earnhardt shit, and even in F1, none of that shit. Death in any sport is a black eye on that sport. Period. In terms of safety, what they missed, what they didn't get right, how they treated the athletes, what's the aftercare, it all boils down to the same thing. Death in sports is never, ever good.
To that point right there, real quick, is Owen Hart falling 50 feet because of a carabiner.
Yeah. There you go.
And they still continued the pay-per-view. Now, I'm not saying that they needed to continue this game. Absolutely not. That's not why that was being brought up. The reason why it's being brought up is because we live in different times. We live in totally different times. To where just on the head injury aspect of things alone, just on that alone, back in the day, it used to be, how many fingers am I holding up? How many fingers am I holding up? Okay, you counted, we could get back into the game.
Get your ass back in the game.
Yeah, life and medical advances has changed a lot of things. People's perspective on these games have changed a lot of things. We're never going to get another, cut my pinky off Ronnie Lott situation so I could get back and finish this game. We will never get that again because people are
You're
far more
right.
sensitive to situations now. And it's more about, you need to live past. Go get that shit taken care of. We'll see you when you get back.
Yeah. You see the joint yesterday? The kid from ODU collapsed from Old Dominion.
No.
In the game, yeah. He's for no reason.
No.
Luckily,
Basketball?
Basketball, college basketball. Yeah. I think it was ODU versus Georgia Southern, and the kid collapsed for no reason. They don't know why. He was down for a minute. They said he eventually got up and he was able to ride home with the team or whatever, but they don't know why he collapsed. He just dropped.
Wow.
But thank God he got up.
Yeah, man. But it's like all these, healthy dudes in the prime of their life, this stuff is, they short circuiting like this.
Yeah.
And it's like remember the Florida a couple years ago, the basketball game. He's back playing now, but remember he collapsed because they couldn't, they figured out something was wrong with his heart. The heart rhythm was off. Let me tell you something, man. The older, as you learn more about this stuff, man, the heart gets real tricky sometimes, man. You know what I mean?
It's not even that. It's these kids are put into these leagues and AAUs and all these, camps and stuff like that. They're constantly working. There's no downtime for them because they're young. So they think they can.
That has nothing to do with it.
And
playing ball for years.
I was going to add on because, all of that generally is just conditioning the body for another level, to take another step and all of that. And no matter how much we try to recall a bunch of these old situations, this, that, and the third, we try to amount what this could have caused that, and these things are freak accidents at the end of the day. They're all like these things. We don't see these things coming, and it's more about what's the next steps after situations like these happen before it's, what caused it to happen? Shit happens. You figure out what happened and why it happened. But, and I don't want this to sound disrespectful, because stopping the game was the absolute right thing to do. Excuse me. Restarting this game and canceling that, the absolute right thing to do. Figure that shit out later. Figure out what's wrong with the person first. But you can't cancel these things as a whole because of it. Again, I don't want to sound insensitive saying that, but because of one doesn't mean that the sport of football can no longer be played. Adjustments have to be made. Corrections have to be made. Even if they go as far as making the NFL a fucking flag football league, it would be the highest level of flag football in the fucking world, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it probably would be fun as hell to watch. To watch fucking little ass Tyreek Hill juke everybody, can't get caught by nobody. You know what I'm saying? But like, they can find ways to make adjustments. You don't have to end the game, period, because people, people had their feelings about the NFL for years now. Cancel that shit. They hate black folks, yada, yada, yada. This, whatever they want to say. All the shit, all the rhetoric that's been said over the decades about the NFL, whatever. You got to adjust and move on. Look how long it took them, as I mentioned, headed into before. Look how long it took them to finally believe the doctor who came up with the diagnosis of CTE.
Yeah, called him a witch doctor. Called the man a witch doctor. I mean, come on, man.
Right, but we can hang on. You can hang on and harp on what they did to him.
Yeah.
But eventually they caught on and started to make the proper changes and adjustments that it can get handled properly.
Because they had to. People put pressure on them.
I'm not saying nothing against that, because you're right. They had to. They absolutely had to. But something traumatic to the brain is going to happen again. What is going to be the next step in correcting that? What is going to be the next step in correcting another Damar Hamlin? What is going to be the next step in correcting, like, well, actually, they did do a step like this, which I was trying to find a player's name. It was a lineman from the Jaguars that I seen on one of these lists I was looking at, who passed out in the preseason. They've made adjustments like that where there's no more two-a-days. There's no, preseason practicing is a little bit less. And this, that, and the third. Like, what can you do to make these adjustments to correct and try to prevent? And to me, that's that on top of, personally for me, and then we'll go around on what we would like to see better. But for me, in-game or, real-time adjustments, like how Jamal described earlier, and better aftercare for players is what I need to see out of the NFL. What you need, JP?
I piggyback off what you said. Better health care. Also, another thing I can see the NFL have too is mental therapists there too for these players. So when they deal with stuff like this, there's a therapist there to talk to them. I think they need therapists in with all these teams, especially with these guys go through the way they put their bodies on the line and everything. They definitely need therapists in the locker room.
Side note on that, I actually heard the press conference the other day with the Bills head coach and Josh Allen. They actually brought in extra therapists because they already have team therapists for just regular stuff. For this situation, the Bills actually brought in extra therapists. So I totally agree with you.
Understandable. Also, let's continue to make this game safe as possible. Another thing is too, the way we practice hitting nowadays. Stop teaching these kids to hit with their heads, hit with the bodies and stuff. You remember how it was back? We used to all love the big hits. We used to all love them. Like, oh man, we watch videos all day of that. Them days are gone, man. So I say proper of tackling as well, instead of hitting with your head all the time. That needs to be straightened out too. That starts on the young level to youth. And
I'm trying to let you finish, even though you keep breaking up. But that's another thing that I can give an answer to. Then Jamal, you can go. Tackling has changed for the past decade plus now. They have been changing tackling for well over a decade, probably 2 decades plus now.
But
there's no more
habits though.
You still see it because shit happens in the game.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? And so to add on to what you're mentioning, and on top of all of TJ's noise in the back, which I'm gonna mute him while he's off camera, is what they need to maybe adjust how the offensive player reacts, because the offensive players still lower their head and get away with it. But it's the defensive player's responsibility to fucking do everything perfect. But anyway, Jamal, what would you like?
And Dan, real quick, one last thing. I gotta address this, man. These idiots out here blaming T. Higgins for what happened, man. Y'all need to stop that shit. Seriously. You need to stop it. T. Higgins wasn't trying to aim, wasn't trying to hurt nobody. It was a routine football play. You're ignorant as hell if you try to blame this man for what happened.
Was it people or was it Bart Scott? Let's call the elephant in the room. Because Bart Scott was the one who started the whole argument about T. Higgins.
Yeah, he started it. And then when somebody starts some shit, there's gonna be coattail riders that go along with it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamal.
No, man, it just the game is dangerous. They can teach the game, do a better job of teaching the game and teaching how to tackle and stuff. But the athletes are getting bigger, they're getting stronger. It's a dangerous ass game, and they really need to not wait till something happens. They need to have an ongoing, a permanent think tank of how to keep the game as safe as possible, including players, former players, coaches, medical staff, neurologists, all those things. So. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Oh. Yeah, no. I agree with that. It has to be. We can't just stop here. I mean, I would love for them to be more preemptive. you know, like I mentioned before earlier, you know, I'm happy for the fact that the paramedics were on call, you know, immediately, you know, after it happened. So they're definitely going in the right direction. You know what I'm saying, as far as that. Yeah, it's, you know, they have to think of ways to make this game safer because it is America's game. You know. And you don't want to upset, you know, parents out there that are now even more, they're now trying to steer their kids even more away from football. You know, you got to keep them in mind.
So
Okay, I'm sorry.
no, you know how they show like Amazon with the probability of a catch, you know, the angle and the degree of the throw and everything. Technology is advanced enough to analyze hits, how they're taken, how they're given, all. So being preemptive is just a thing. They just need to incorporate that. Like technology has advanced to the point where they know what a good hit is from a bad hit, you know, the angles these players are getting hit at, the rates of, you know, maximum or minimum injury. They can sort all that shit out and the numbers will be there because we have enough film on tape for all that shit that for them to analyze. So they really need to incorporate this into football into making it a safer sport. And they can absolutely do that. And they can make equipment for these probabilities of and the players getting hit. And they can make advancements in shoulder pads, chest pads, rib pads, the whole shit, helmets, the whole 9 yards. You know, they can make the crown of the helmet bigger or more absorptive, you know, because people just tend to lead with their head naturally. There's just some players that just run like that or tackle like that. So they can definitely make advances and be more preemptive at that.
See, and that point right there to cap this off with is I've been saying all day today and a lot of yesterday in my head, I need to reach out to some of my doctor friends. Like I might have to talk to bring on the homie Ike Onyetica, who's a doctor, played football. His brother and him actually played football with my brother in high school. But this dude is an orthopedic doctor. And I say it like this. And shout out to my cousin's show and the Regulation Podcast, because he was making points like this too, these are points that I've made before. You don't see these kinds of injuries in padless football. You don't see a lot of the injuries that you see in football without pads, but people automatically assume that the pads prevent injury. Yet, if you ever suited up in football pads, football helmets, it's very restricting in many ways. It's very restricting in many ways. And you don't see these types of injuries out of the game of rugby. I'll say that again. I'm not going to say it a third time like Umar. You don't see these kind of injuries. You don't see these kind of injuries out of the game of rugby.
No, because football provides armor, so it gives you an idea that you may be invincible. In rugby, the exact opposite. They are more they have better technique in how to hit, but they also know I literally can't go top speed into this dude bone to bone and expect to come out without a limp. But I think it's the pads that make the game dangerous, honestly.
Yeah.
Nobody's headhunting in rugby. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because you have to use your freaking head. And first, you got to use your brain internally beforehand. So you're right. Like you got to use your brain.
You know exactly how you're going to hit this dude before you hit him. You know what I'm saying? Like you're taking the proper angle because you don't want to inflict as much injury on yourself as you are trying to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's a calculated risk or move you're taking when you're going to hit somebody without pads on, as opposed to hitting somebody with pads on.
Right. And like again, you mentioned the helmet aspect of things, because I remember I remember them hard foam pads. And then when they started to put air in them, the air was just a little fucking balloon-like thing that sat in between them hard foam pads. Then when Peyton Manning was like one of the first ones to come out with the Zenith helmet, where they were already advanced to air, but that Zenith helmet, the one that had the funny looking, chin guardish area that looked extended and all that, that brand tried to take the approach of like almost like a car and its airbags and crash and crumple zones, where they had
so it wanted to absorb the hit.
Right, individual round things within the helmets and things like that. And thinking on helmet and head injuries, like it changed a little bit. It changed a lot, but didn't change much because concussions and all that stuff still happen. And again, no matter how many, we went. Y'all remember neck rolls and all of that? There has been so many changes in the equipment as a whole. I mean, I do appreciate this though, because the game speed and things like that, pads and helmets and things, they've gotten lighter and smaller. Offensive linemen's pads aren't as big as what they used to be. But
I was going to say, what happened to that? What happened to the neck rolls?
It was useless, and they probably aimed in the fucking.
Yeah, they're useless, bro. The pads are more contoured to your body now than ever before.
Dude, they replaced the neck roll with the high neck pad that was in the back. Remember that joint? They just stick on the back.
The neck brace.
That nigga had the head brace.
The Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, Zach Thomas
was playing all the time. In Pop Warner, we had the padded girdle. In Pop Warner, we had the hip pads and all that shit.
Yeah, like little things. See now, this is where things are different. It's like pads like those where you're somewhat protecting kidneys and livers and organs and stuff. Like those are a little different. But once you get to where you can't freely put your arms up like this, you're putting your arms up like this. And then having to extend further, pinching pads in between on your neck to try to get your hands up further, things like that. Your head is only restricted to moving. Like you're not going to really be able to get your head. You could get your head around, but it's different. Like if you want to even long giraffe neck ass niggas on the field that you can, you know what I'm saying? But like
Merton Hanks.
Yeah, he wear like two headbands on his neck.
Remember that dance? That thing used to like get hurt. That little dance he used to do. But then another
that shit was annoying. I wish somebody would just snap his fucking head.
Another thing the football changed
I didn't
too
like
was
that dude at all.
I saw that Merton Hanks was a beast. I saw videos. I see like old videos of back in the day. Used to clothesline people like Night Train Lane. He was famous for that, clotheslining people. Yeah. They come across and do like wrestling clothesline moves and stuff. Yeah.
Well, Deacon Jones said he used to get slapped in the face on every play and shit. So.
Slap the side of helmets. Offensive linemen would slap the side of helmets, right?
Oh yeah. Ring that bell.
I remember the NFL films. I remember they interviewed this one player. He was like, "Yeah, I had a broken nose. And I had a concussion. They gave me some smelling salts. Like, get your ass back out here on the field." And I'm like, man, them old school dudes, man, they went through some shit.
Yeah, but that's a part of again why these era changing and things are getting better. Yes, evolution, because we are becoming more sensitive to these things.
And I want to make one last point. You notice too, players are playing less years. We've had some great players play less years. Luke Kuechly played 7 years. Patrick Willis played 7 years. Calvin Johnson played what, 10 years and stuff. Even Jim Brown played 9 years. So I don't blame these players for getting out. Like Barry played 10 years. I don't blame him for getting out. Like like, hey, I make my money. I'm getting out here while I can, and I hope you'll have a productive, long life.
Right. Well, we're seeing that in different ways because the special athlete, the Hall of Fame caliber athlete who's taking it, even Andrew Luck, like they're taking the approach of like, yo, life is much longer than this, which Tua Tagovailoa, you need to take the Andrew Luck approach to your career. please do that because every week that man's getting concussed. But you know, it's like it feels rare when you're seeing it from the all-star, all-pro player, but the turnaround is a lot more too because everybody is bigger, stronger, faster. You can get replaced at the drop of a dime and not lose a step. More now today because there are far more skilled players than there were then. But which I'm going to pause this show and we're going to say this is a wrap for this because next week, just off of that topic alone, on top of like I want to bring back some more fun shit, but you brought me the conversation before this week of we have to talk about how just like in the NBA and in the NFL, how the talent level of these players today are way better than the eras we grew up on. And I know a lot of old niggas ain't gonna like this, so please come join us and state your cases to why that you think that.
Wait a minute, my only argument is the rules for the older era is not the rules of today.
Well,
if there was no face guard and hand checking,
all that shit. We're going to discuss that shit next week. We're going to discuss that whole thing next week.
Yep. And Dan, I'm glad you bring this topic up because I see so many posts on Facebook and stuff like that there where cats are saying, "Oh, the NBA today is terrible. Why these guys scored all these points because of the rules, because of this, that, and the third." I'm gonna save my take for next week, man, because
that's it.
You.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You want to say it again? Keep going. Pause that real quick because we wasn't going here, but the homie Lou is asking us real quick. Any thoughts on the Dana White slapping the shit out of his wife and the lack of coverage on it? My point of view is this, and again, y'all know, father or daughters, don't put your hands on somebody you are not. You know, if you don't want to get hit, don't hit. Just that simple. I am not saying that he is right for hitting his wife after the fact. It might have never happened if she never raised his hands. I'm not too fully invested in that story. I seen the video. You don't want to get hit, don't hit. And that's all I can keep my points to because I don't know any further into the story. All I personally saw was the video. And that's all I can say.
Pick it up next week. It's all good.
That's all I can say about it.
I mean, I didn't see the video. So she slapped him first and then he slapped her back?
She slapped him first and then he went at her. Well, we don't know.
He lit fire into her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No comment.
I don't comment. There's still more to come out. The only thing I'm going to say in it is, okay, that's cool, but there's still some privilege at work there. Because if no matter what, if it was a different athlete of a different hue, no matter if he got hit first and he was on he'd be on the apology tour right now.
Oh, yeah, a shitload of privilege. Yeah, I mean that's the shit nobody want to talk about.
Billionaire fight league owner, and the only thing that's happened to him actually, because it has been being brought up, the only thing that's happened so far is his new slap fighting league got pushed back. The release of the league got pushed back because it's got pushed back.
Unintended.
Oh my god.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I mean, it is a privilege, right? It is a privilege, right?
Read the comment. He said, "I'm a firm believer in shaking the shit out of a bitch. I don't know about slapping her though. I'm not calling her a bitch. I'm not calling no woman a bitch like that because again, I'm a father and daughter. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with you in a way, Lou, because it's like you're you're physically dominant. If you know you're physically dominant in that situation, just grab her. Don't go all crazy like that, and then let the people decide it after there. Of you got hit, and that's
but the argument is he said something that made her slap him. That's possibly the other side of the argument.
We don't know. We don't know.
We didn't have audio. I'm gonna tell you my opinion.
Sorry, baby. Sorry, I fucked your sister, baby. It was an accident.
Damn, Jay.
And he went all the way there on accident.
Happy New Year, motherfuckers.
Shit.
Damn.
Yeah,
Now, go
my
ahead.
my
Oh,
opinion,
yeah.
my opinion. I mean, and not to sound callous or insensitive, but it could not have happened at a better time for him, because when that story came out, that was the Monday. It came out the Monday, Tuesday, right around the same time with Hamlin. So no one, that was another reason why no one was really talking about it. And I'm not defending, what he did or anything, because I do think
No.
he got
He
more
had a
coverage.
distraction on top of his distraction.
It was definitely a distraction. Yeah, it could not have happened at a better time.
It was timing. It was timing. I mean, the Brett Favre situation, we covered it all when it happened. We talked about it. We talked about it when it happened, but we knew it was getting swept under the rug because we were talking about millionaire white men. But Kyrie, millionaire black man, like JG said, had to go on a fucking apology tour, or for all he did was post an image of a fucking movie.
Yeah, retweet. That's it.
That's it. That's it. A retweet of a movie poster, and then had to go on this whole apology tour. This whole change of, it was that Kyrie punishment was so absurd. It's still ridiculous to this day.
Yeah, it's still upsetting. It's still upsetting to me.
But again, I will just, this goes for everybody. You don't want to get hit, don't get hit. That's just as simple as I can put it. Male to male, female to female, woman to woman, man to woman, woman to man. You don't want to get hit, don't hit.
Yeah, keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself. That's it. But that's it, yo. We know what to do, TJ. I guess you don't want to close it out. You just okay. It's his headphone. JP, go ahead. You know what to do.
Oh man, shout out. First off, Happy New Year to everybody. I said New Year. I didn't say New Year's. I said New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Shout out, of course, to the Bear. Shout out to Big O, Jamal. Good to see you, brother. And oh yeah, TJ. Don't think I forget what happened on Christmas Day. I'm telling you that right now. Don't think I forget. You talked all that shit that day. And you saw what happened. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like we're all not Knicks fans here. And he put, I mean, I can't, I was gonna do like he did with his hands. My hands are as white as his right now. He still do all the fuck.
If he gonna let TJ take all the heat for it, I'm here. I'm gonna just sit back. Okay. Knowing damn well we all watched that game.
Exactly. And we're all Knicks fans except for him. But TJ looked mad because he's trying to figure his shit out. He ain't even hearing us, I don't think, right now. Go ahead, Jamal. Go ahead.
Big O.
Oh, all right, man. Yo, special shout out to you guys, man. Yo, I enjoyed myself. This is a good show, man. I did have my doubts about just talking on one topic, but yo, we got some good points out. I enjoyed it. I think it's one of our better shows. And I look forward to the future. I look forward to 2023 and where this show is going.
Word up. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you, Mayor. Shout out to TJ. Don't know if you can hear me. Shout out to JP. Brother, pleasure having you on camera. This was a rarity. This was a treat. So
we got to see the portal mirrors and everything.
We got JP on camera. Big O, my brother. Always a pleasure to see you. Yeah, great show. Looking forward to 2023. We're gonna have some good. The next 4 weeks should be some good sports topics to talk about. Looking forward to the rest of 2023 doing our shows. Peace to Ishtar. Shout out Disabled Plans.
TJ's back now, finally.
All right.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. But shout out to everybody. Dan, JG, get better. Good to see you, JP. Big O. You know what I'm saying? looking forward to the new year and where we can go with the show and what we've been doing and building off of connections we made in the past year. So I'm excited. Looking forward to seeing you guys in person, you know what I'm saying, a couple of times this year, and be out here and have a good time.
Word. And next week too, we're gonna just really quick because the NFL season ends this week. We just got to go over how well we did as far as our season predictions. I know we didn't do the mid-season mark because that was kind of when we had to take that. Well, I had to take the break. Well, yeah, as I'm for some reason I think I lost the AFC ones, but the NFC list that I have, some of us aren't looking too good. And Jamal, I think you missed the NFC one. You was there for the AFC one, but you wasn't there for the NFC one. And yeah, I'm looking at O's predictions. Not a single one of the number ones is accurate. I'm looking at TJ's. Only 2 of his is accurate. I'm looking at mine, and all but 1 are accurate. So we'll go over that real quick next week. We'll go, and then again, we're gonna have that debate of the errors and why you need to cover some of these sports by error and not by overall. Jordan fans, I'm talking to y'all. So if any super Jordan stan, please, I am throwing the gauntlet out to you. Please come on the show. If you are an old head or a young old head who says it's Wilt and I don't give a fuck about nobody else, please come on the show. If you have your LeBron bias, please come on the show. If you want to say, fuck these niggas, it's all about Luka, come on the show. That was bars right there. You know, I don't know if you got that. But, you know, but the floor is open for y'all. We're kicking off the year with the sports talk, but we're definitely going to get back to some of the other fun talk, man. We get back to the video game shit again. We got to get back to more movie stuff. And February, because we got some things for y'all coming in the near future, especially like I mentioned by way of HHDG Media. But February, we are having a tournament, y'all, for the whole month of February. This is how we're celebrating Black History Month. We either going to do a top 16 or a top 32 of what's perceived as the worst Black movies. So think about your Master P collection of like, I got the hookup.
Pootie Tang.
No.
Pootie Tang is gold, bro.
Pootie Tang is not on the list. Don't fucking kick yourself in the nuts after this for that. But Pootie Tang will not be on the list. That's what I'm saying. We're thinking about the Fat Beaches. We're thinking about the Master P collection. We're thinking about even some of the current stuff, which I haven't really watched any yet, but I'm gonna have to download Tubi to see some of these terrible edits and more. So we're bashing out people, but we're not bashing out people because you know what? A lot of those filmmakers still made money. They created and generated jobs for people, gave people spotlight, whether they were fucking terrible or not. It was all subjective anyway. But we're going to be talking shit about some bad Black movies. And as we compile the list too, we have to be fair and we got to try to go back and watch some of these too. Whether we remember them, we're good.
Tripping?
If not, we're not.
We got to do good ones though too. We have to do a list for the good movies too though.
No,
we're doing.
I was inspired because of all of these bad Tubi clips that I see. You know what I'm saying? Like where I watched this one Tubi clip on TikTok where it was a fucking security guard going to check on some woman. It looked like, I guess it was like a mental hospital. She was going crazy and choked the security guard out. The security guard started off as a light-skinned dude with an afro. The camera cut. You see him laying on the edge of the bed like this, and then all of a sudden it was a dark-skinned dude with dreads. like so I'm saying we're going into bad shit like that. Just because we need to have a whole month of fucking fun and jokes and
he's gone.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll try to bring some of our other movie people in to join us with the tournament the whole month of then. And then the month of March, I'm calling it out now because it is March Madness time. We might have to do a whole month of tournaments like we did that the year before, right, TJ? When we did when we had Carl on and we did the R&B joints and this, that, and third, you know, we got time, but we're gonna have more fun on this show than we usually did, man. And we want y'all to come back. Thank y'all to the 3 or 4 people who's checking in, 5 people who checked in on us, and yeah, man, let's just get these numbers up. Let's keep this going. And the family is jumping on me right now because they need me to run. So peace. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Sir.